Stockholm Syndrome, a psychological response where hostages develop a bond with their captors, has traditionally been associated with extreme situations of physical confinement. However, the question arises, can this phenomenon manifest in the more subtle, yet often equally damaging environment of the workplace? While the physical constraints of a hostage situation are absent, the power dynamics and psychological pressures present in certain work environments can create conditions conducive to a similar form of psychological entrapment. At its core, Stockholm Syndrome involves a survival mechanism. When individuals face prolonged periods of stress, fear, and uncertainty, they may develop a sense of dependency on their captors as a means of coping. This dependency can evolve into a form of loyalty where the victim begins to identify with the aggressor's perspective. In the workplace, this dynamic can emerge in situations where employees are subjected to prolonged periods of abuse, manipulation, or excessive control. One common manifestation is in workplace characterized by authoritarian leadership. A boss who consistently belittles, intimidates, or micromanages employees can create a climate of fear and anxiety. In such environments, employees may begin to rationalize the abusive behavior, viewing it as a necessary evil or even a sign of the leader's dedication. They might start to defend the leader's actions, attributing them to external pressures or the company's best interests. This rationalization mirrors the psychological defense mechanisms observed in Stockholm Syndrome. Another contributing factor is the sense of isolation and dependency. Employees who feel isolated from their colleagues or who lack alternative employment opportunities may become increasingly reliant on their employer for their sense of security as well as identity. This dependency can make them more susceptible to manipulation and exploitation. They might overlook or minimize abusive behavior for fear of losing their job or being ostracized. Furthermore, the workplace often involves a complex web of social and professional obligations. Employees may feel pressured to conform to company culture, maintain professional relationships, or meet performance targets. These pressures can create a sense of obligation that overrides their own well being. They might suppress their own needs and desires to appease their superiors or maintain their standing within the organization. Now, it is very much necessary to understand the effects. What are the effects of workplace Stockholm Syndrome? The effects can be insidious. Employees may experience decreased self-esteem, increased anxiety, and a diminished sense of autonomy. They may become overly compliant, reluctant to voice their opinions, or hesitant to challenge authority. This can stifle creativity, hinder innovation, and create a toxic work environment. Recognizing the signs of workplace Stockholm Syndrome is crucial for both individuals and organizations. Employees or team members should be aware of the potential for psychological manipulation and should be willing to seek support in case that they feel they are being subjected to abusive behavior. This is necessary because you have to speak out. Organizations should foster a culture of respect, transparency, and open communication. Leaders should be trained to recognize and address abusive behavior, and employees should be provided with channels to report concerns without any fear, especially the fear of retaliation. While the workplace may not involve the physical constraints of a traditional hostage situation, the psychological pressures and power dynamics can create conditions conducive to a similar form of entrapment. By understanding the dynamics of Stockholm Syndrome and fostering a culture of respect and empathy, organizations can create a healthier and more productive work environment. Thank you very much for your time.